of this pollution, of this food that is polluted, of water that is polluted. If we wouldn't take care of ourselves, then we need to understand that we'll have this problem in next generations.
And the subsequent generations.
Yes.
And let's take one subject of just mad cow disease itself, and the genesis of mad cow disease.
Yeah, it was, at the beginning it was unclear what has happened, but then it was studied and demonstrated absolutely exactly. It was idea to feed cows, to add to cow food some meat, processed meat. Because factories which produce meat, they have a lot of leftovers that was just destroying somehow. And someone came to a clever idea to process those leftovers, to produce some powder, and to add this powder to cow's meat, to cow's food. And it was found that cows, they grow much faster, they accept weight, because they have direct albumin. Because you know that from grass or some other food, they have long three-stage processing of food to get to albumin. And here they get direct albumin, and it was found that they grow up much faster. But then it has created this problem of cow madness, because it had those albumins. They had absolutely disastrous effect to cow's brain. And it was found that this is dangerous for people as well, because this is...
And this is still a common practice. I mean, this is still what the cows commercially are fed.
As I know, in most countries, it is forbidden now.
Is it?
It is forbidden, yes, as you know, because when they found the reason, of course, they made special regulations that allows to forbid it.
So these kind of rendered meats
Yes.
and fats are...
That's why it was the problem only for developed countries.
Right.
In Russia, we never had this problem.
Well, when cows graze on grass, you're not going to have mad cow disease.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And also, you were talking about utilizing all of the senses, and one of the things you mentioned today was also the sense of smell. And can you talk about the nature of... There was a Nobel Prize that was awarded for a study on the sense of smell. How do the senses play in particularly the sense of scent,
Yes. Yeah, you see, in our life, the sense of smell plays a very important role that people don't understand. Because we just smell some perfumes, we sometimes smell food, and that's it. But in reality, we constantly react to different smells. And this is absolute subconscious reaction. For animals, it is one of the main source of their information. You know,
for survival.
For operating an environment, for intercommunication. These are the main source. Any dog, any cat, that would always smell everything. For us, of course, it's much less important. But anyway, we react to smell because we are part of animal kingdom. And the smell of food, it triggers a lot of physiological mechanisms in our digestive system. So when we have this good smell, we immediately trigger some process in our stomach to be prepared for the particular food. That's why it is so bad to have food with artificial smell.
And also have other elements in the environment that destroy our sense of smell, certain chemicals.
Yes, absolutely, of course, sure. And of course, we should understand that smell, it is a strong sexual attractor.
Yes.
So we need to use perfumes, we need to use different cosmetics and to use it clever. And when some people, they mix different cosmetics together, then of course it creates very funny effect.
Right, a funny effect. And so when you look at the lack of our ability in developed world to have a full-blown sense of smell in operation, because the foods don't particularly have them. If you go buy flowers at the market, they've been raised, also factory raised, so you're not smelling those flowers in the same way. You're saying that on an energetic level, if this isn't beginning the processes of opening up, starting the digestive enzymes and so forth, what is the net effect of that when we go about then consuming our food?
Yeah, of course, if it is artificial food, it has no smell, then it creates no signals to our system. But at the same time, it's a signal that it's artificial.
Well, okay.
On the right person. And it's funny that you mentioned flowers. I had one friend who came from the United States, living there maybe for 10 years, and she came back to Russia. She told the worst impression was that in the United States, no flowers have smell.
Yes,
So
unless they're wild or in your backyard.
Yes, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
that's very true. You send someone, you send your lover, sweetie, a bouquet of a dozen red roses, and there's no scent.
Yes.
And so it's lost half of its beauty right there.
Yes, absolutely. It's very pity. And smell is related to our memory. That's why when we have something significant in our life and we have some smell with this, then this just particular smell can trigger this recall.
Yes.
So it triggers these memories.
Another common element of our lives in the developed world and undeveloped world, or third world nations as it was said, is cell phones. They're everywhere now. And you have measured the effects of what happens to a person when they're talking on a cell phone for as little as 10 minutes. Can you talk about some of your findings?
We've done a very precise blind study where people was keeping cell phones nearby their head, and some cell phones was turned on, some cell phones were turned off. And it was found, first of all, significant difference, statistically significant. And it was found that people really react to cell phone emanation, but react differently. For some it is quite little reaction, non-significant. For some it is really strong, significant reactions.
Even the average was quite, looking at your charts, the average reaction was still significant.
It's quite significant, because about 10% of population reacts very significantly. So when we average on a group, say about 30 people, we have significant reaction to cell phone. But what is most important, that this reaction lasts for quite a long time. So even when people stop using cell phone, they still have this change in their condition. And first of all, it is heart rate, it is immune system, it is energy system. So it is really has some effect.
So it drops for as much as what? How long does it take for a person to start recovering from their 10-minute cell phone call?
About half an hour, from half an hour to an hour, depending on a person as well.
And so if you spend all day on the cell phone, especially kids and teenagers, then what's happening?
It may be absolutely dramatic, absolutely.
Brain tumors, do you think that there is
They may develop a lot of different problems.
Yeah.
It may be brain problems, and a lot of cases now, as we know, we have increase of brain problems with children and young generation, strong increase. And it is, a lot of doctors, they decided that it's related to cell phone using.
So what can we do to ameliorate those problems?
First of all, we need to use the modern cell phones, because the older the model, the higher the influence.
More the radiation?
Yes,
Yeah.
because in modern cell phones they try to diminish radiation, they try to use higher frequency, and higher frequency is less influensive. They try to use impulse settings, and again it's less influensive. And second, we need to use some earphones.
The earpiece.
Earpiece, yes.
Just get the phone away from
Yes, absolutely, just to keep it away from our body. Yes.
Well, you're saying not just your ear, your body.
Yes, absolutely.
What if you keep it in the breast pocket of your jacket?
It is very bad. It is the worst situation, mostly for women. It may really have dramatic outcome, because the increase of breast cancer in developed countries, it was exactly related to the development of these network connections. So we have all, of course it's only suspicion.
Right.
We can't tell for sure.
Right.
Absolutely, it's impossible to tell for sure. But as we have some probability, it's better to keep it away.
Right.
So the best to keep it either outside of the body, in purse.
In the purse, right.
Or just at the back pocket.
But then you sit on it.
So it depends.
But you got a lot of cushion there to keep it away from other organs.
Yes. So it's better to keep it away from main organs, like
Right.
heart, like liver, like kidney, like genital organs,
Yes.
because it has some influence for sure.
Okay.
At the same time, we don't want to reject them totally. We will use it